What you believe about money will decide how you achieve wealth. Hi, welcome to the Self-Up. This time I will talk about the book Rules of Wealth by Richard Templar. This book talks about the rules for achieving wealth. Maybe we've seen, how come there are people who seem to earn money very easily? No matter how hard they try or what they do, they make money very quickly. Not only that, we also see people who seem to grow their wealth very easily. But most of us just spend money easily. What is the secret? Is this a secret that only rich people know? Or is it something we can learn? The answer is yes, it is something that can be learned. The rules to wealth are guidelines to help you make more money, manage your finances more wisely, and grow them more effectively. The main goal is to live a happier and more comfortable life. Interestingly, this book contains 107 rules that you can choose which one suits you best. I summarized it into 3 key points from this book. First, think like a rich person. You have to realize that money is a concept. You can't really touch it unless it's in physical form, such as banknotes, coins, checks, or gold. Everyone has their own ideas when it comes to money. Some believe that money is evil. But there are also people who feel that money is good. Before we think about having wealth, we must first understand how we see money. If we feel that having a lot of money is evil, even subconsciously, this may be what prevents us from becoming rich. The majority of people are usually brought up with certain concepts about money. There is a concept that money is the root of all evil. Money only makes people greedy and deceitful. Money can't buy happiness, and so on. These are myths about money. To have the mindset of a rich person, you must be able to write a new concept about money. For example, money is okay. Wanting money is okay. I will become extremely rich, and I am ready to work hard to achieve it. Another thing that is quite interesting is what the definition of wealth is for you. Everyone must have a definition of what a rich person is. However, if we are serious about having wealth, then you must have a clear definition. We often hear people say they want to be a billionaire. But did you know that many people have houses worth over $1 billion, but don't consider themselves billionaires? We need to be able to measure how much we want, so that we think of ourselves as rich. There's an interesting example in this book. Richard tells the story of his wealthy friend. He said that when his friend first started his business, he knew how much wealth he wanted to accumulate. His friend only felt that he was wealthy when he could live off the interest that came from the interest on his total wealth. This is the most important thing. We must be able to define what we want. For some people, wealth might be defined by how many cars they have, how much money is in their bank account, or how much money is in their investment portfolio. Of course, there is no right or wrong answer. The important thing is that you have a clear idea of what you want. Second, generating and maintaining wealth. Every action has a consequence, and if you are rich, then that wealth is the result of your actions. Richards explains, we should see money as a reward for intelligence and hard work, not a reward for good behavior. Many times we judge other people with a moral lens. Does that person deserve to be rich or not? But we forget, they became rich because they worked hard to accumulate it. In the end, wealth is just a consequence of our actions. This is something that we should all understand, that becoming wealthy is not a secret that only a few people know, but a consequence of their actions. If we try to find a shortcut and have the mindset of getting rich quick, this is counterproductive. We will easily fall for fraudulent business or investment schemes. There is an important thing that you must understand when you already have wealth, which is not to be arrogant and careless. You must be able to use your money wisely. There are 2 interesting stories in this book. One of the stories is about a musician who is wealthy and buys a mansion that they live in on the edge of town. Money gives him a comfortable place for his family and children. The house can also be a valuable asset. On the other side, there's a story about a fashion model who went bankrupt because of her drug habit. This is what we have to understand. When we waste our wealth, it won't last long. Remember, being rich is fun, but showing off your wealth is not wise. When you reach a certain level of wealth, stay humble. You don't need to tell others how much you earn and how much your wealth is. If you tell them, Some will despise you because your wealth is below theirs. Others will become jealous because of your wealth. Therefore, keep the information about your wealth to yourself and don't let others know about it. Third, share the wealth. Wealth is like a beautiful painting. Of course, you can display it at home and only you and your family can enjoy it. But you can also share it so that others can benefit from it. There is an interesting suggestion from Richard: never loan money to anyone, unless you are willing to give it away. That way, when they don't pay you back, you'll still feel okay. For example, when you loan money to your friend and then they don't pay you back, not only do you lose your money, but you also lose your friendship. They might feel embarrassed that they can't pay you back, so they don't dare to come to you. Of course, you can choose the other option of giving them the amount of money you are willing to give, or not giving them at all. When you become a wealthy person, there will be people trying to get close to you. Some are trying to get your money, either asking for a direct loan, or offering you a business. It's important that you understand when to say yes or no. Another interesting point is not to overprotect your child from the valuable experiences that come from a hard life. This is good advice for parents or parents-to-be. Usually, many parents can't bear to see their children live a hard life and try to give their children a life of plenty. As a result, the child grows up with a poor money mindset. One way of practicing this is by giving monthly money. For example, when they enter university and live apart from their parents. A monthly money will teach them to manage their personal finances and live within their means. The question may be, how much should be given? Of course, this is based on their cost of living and also a long discussion between parents and children. The child should be able to justify why they need the amount of monthly money they are asking for. This will teach them the value of money and they will appreciate it more when they get it. Money is a concept and a consequence of your actions. To build wealth, you must have the right mindset to achieve wealth, stay wealthy, and share it. Please comment in the comments section what lessons you learned from reading this book. If you'd like to read the full book, click the link in the description or the pinned comment. Thank you for your support in growing this channel. Your journey to self-improvement starts with a single step, and I'm glad we could take this step together today. If you have book recommendations or topics you'd like me to explore, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Self Up for more content that inspires and empowers. Stay motivated, and see you soon.